Right, good evening again on a Friday night, and we're all here in Rhyl. It's the last Friday in March. So don't forget, you've got to put your clocks on Saturday night. And if you're one of these people who thinks, I'm not doing that, I'm going to stick to GMT all year, you must remember that next week we start at 7 o'clock. Okay. My internet's been coming and going, so I'll get myself on in case I go off. This is really miserable. This is a funeral song. You know, can't say otherwise. Nice song. Song by Venice called "The Family Tree." Branches in the wind, standing together. One more storm to weather, we'll get through it yet. So we're gathered here, holding on to each other, as we let go of another one we won't forget. And as we say goodbye to one of our own, we may be lonely, but we're not alone. Though the leaves will fall, the tears will flow, may it always comfort us to know the family tree will always grow. Father down to son, mother to daughter, thicker than water, we are made of this. From the earth we rise, to the earth returning, we'll keep the candle burning for the ones we'll miss. And as we say goodbye to one of our own, we may be lonely, but we're not alone. Though the leaves will fall, the tears will flow, may it always comfort us to know the family tree will always grow. Stronger than the wind can blow.
Very nice, John.
I'm available for funerals, bar mitzvahs, christenings, ship launches, anything that I can turn a quid. Right. Do you like the haircut John, then? I've had a few narky comments.
Explain, John. If everybody, especially new people, we welcome you clapping or showing your derision for what the previous performance. Unmute yourselves, clap by all means, comment, and then remember to mute yourselves before the next one. That's all we ask. Thank you very much.
Right. Okay, yes, I've had my money's worth of a haircut. It's no longer down over my shoulders. So it's feeling a bit drafty around here now. Right, Michael Hawkins.
Yep. This is a Dylan song. It's one of his most famous, really. Times that are changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times they are a-changing. writers and critics who prophesy with your pen. Keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that is naming. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. He who gets hurt will be he who is stalled. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. The old road is rapidly aging. Get out a new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line is drawn, the curse is cast. The slow on now will later be last. The present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, you'd better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Have you got a Bob Dylan long playing record now to go with Penguin Eggs?
No, I've got that on single though. I've still got that on single.
78 is
45. No, it's not. That's 78. You pillock. 45. 45 it was.
Right, that's enough
I've
from
got
you,
that
Mike.
single
Shut up. Right, we've got Brian and Sue next. I haven't had a chance to chat to them myself, but from the accent, it sounds like they're from somewhere up the northeast.
We are, yes.
That's right, County Durham.
Right, you don't. It's who? How did you get here? Can we ask?
Oh, Terry's to blame for that, aren't you, Terry? Terry said it's great hosts and great people. He says you'll really enjoy it. So
We pay him a lot of money.
yeah.
We all buy his CDs.
Oh,
Oh, yes. we
None
do.
of this one person in the club buys a CD, and every other bugger in the club gets a copy of it. You know.
Oh, we're hooked. Well and truly.
fantastic CD.
Lovely.
Great.
Right,
Anyway, listen, lovely
yeah.
to meet you all.
Yeah, it's nice to be on.
right. Go for it then.
Thank you.
Right, we're both Dougie MacLean fans, and wherever we go somewhere new, we normally start with this song, and it's his most famous one about homesickness for Scotland. It's Caledonia. don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I have moved and kept on moving, proved the points that I needed proving, lost the friends that I needed losing, found others on the way. Oh, and I have tried and kept on trying, stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I have traveled hard with conscience flying, somewhere with the wind. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. The empty room and the forest choir, the flames that couldn't get any higher, they're withered now, they're gone. Now I'm steady thinking, my way is clear, and I know what I will do tomorrow, when hands are shaking and kisses flow, and I will disappear. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. But if I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had.
Yay! For beginners.
Nice one.
Am I allowed to say shit hot?
No.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I retract it then. Right, now, I've got a woman from Aberdeen sat next to me here, and she's just bawling her eyes out here.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
Right, okay, we're fairly busy tonight. We'll get through once. We'll have probably room for 2 or 3 second half. You are first on the list.
Oh, please.
Okay, so if you can just hang on till the second half. And we will move swiftly on to Dragon's Breath Folk Club's answer to Captain Mannering.
Hey, oh, well, man. Okay, I've got glasses on. Pike. You look like him with that haircut, John.
Don't tell him.
One of my favourite songs of all time, and quite opposite at this time. I did a couple of protest songs last week, if you remember, because this government made some decisions that I was against. And also they brought in, well, they're trying to bring in another act which will make travellers illegal. So this is a song by the great Ewan MacColl, and it's one of my favourites. I'm a free-born man of the travelling people, got no fixed abode, with nomads I am numbered. Country lanes and byways were always my ways, I've never fancied being numbered. Well, we knew the woods, all the resting places, and the small birds sang when winter time was over. Then we'd pack our load and be on the road. Those were good old times for the rovers. There was open ground where a man could linger for a week or two, for time was not a master. Then away you'd jog with your horse and dog, free and easy, no need to go faster. Now and then we'd meet up with other travellers, share the news or else swap family information. At the country fairs we'd be meeting there, all the people of the travelling nation. Well, I've known life hard and I've known life easy, and I've cursed this life when winter days were dawning. But I've laughed and sang through the whole night long, seen the summer sunrise in the morning. All you free-born men of the travelling people, every tinker, rolling stone and gypsy rover, winds of change are blowing, your old ways are going, your travelling days will soon be over. I'm a free-born man of the travelling people, got no fixed abode, with nomads I am numbered. Country lanes and byways were always my ways, I've never fancied being numbered.
Not bad, I suppose, John, not bad.
Thank you. You know, that's...
Oh, let's have a look at that shirt.
Oh,
Let's see the shirt. Oh,
turn it down.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough. Right, get it out of the way. Get Carol on.
You didn't knit that shirt, Carol, did you?
No.
Thank heavens.
No, it wasn't bought from Evans. It was actually bought from in Mould. Yeah,
Poundland.
Davis.
John Davis. Yeah,
Vaughan
Davis. Yeah, that's right. So.
Okay.
In 1968. No.
We're on the second of the series of dragon poems. To anybody who heard this on Tuesday night, apologies, you're going to hear it again. The upside is it's only 8 lines, so it'll be over and done with before you've got a chance to blink, really.
John could go for a pee if he wants to.
If he's quick.
In 8 lines, no chance. My prostate.
Okay.
Right.
So this is called Trevor and Glass Feeling Better. As expected, after only a few days, both are feeling better now. Heads are now raised. There's a glint in the eyes and mischief in the air. Scheming and planning. So I think, beware. I've seen them looking at relatives close by, sitting on cabinets and ledges up high. So don't be surprised if before too soon others join them from across the room. And you'll hear about the others in weeks to come.
Yeah.
We've got yet another new face. We've got Roger.
Ah.
Where are you beaming from, Roger?
Highbury, North London, Arsenal country.
Oh,
Arsenal.
sorry. Sorry if we laugh. Suppose somebody's got to be, haven't they?
I suppose so.
Roger, you're talking to a Burnley fan over there. That's the problem you've got.
Oh, I see. Well,
Same manager for 3 or 4 centuries, I think.
well, do you recall back 2017, the Cup?
I don't recall yesterday.
All right. Because I'm really a Lincoln City fan, actually.
Right, come on then, Roger. Let's
Okay,
let's hear from you.
I'm here because of Terry as well. I've known Terry for ages, since the 1960s. I noticed Terry warmed up with a song called Nobody's Business. This is called Nobody's Business, but it's not the same song, so it should be okay, I guess. I used to go and watch Davy Graham play stuff like this when I first went to London. I wish I could play it like he did. There we go. Since you left me, baby, I'm out all night, got no one to say everything's alright. You know it ain't nobody's business what I do. Might get drunk, sit all alone, got blues in my head. Well, I won't be home, you know it ain't nobody's business what I do. No dice or poker, drinking in the bars. If the heels on my shoes are down, well, you know, well, that's because it ain't nobody's business what I do. I'm a nighttime man, that's alright with you. I have breakfast at midnight till I find somebody new. Well, it ain't nobody's business what I do.
I had to join tonight.
old Terry's mates are going to make the rest of us look
I
crap.
know, I just said that.
It's a take-up. That sounded, if you take it as a compliment, that sounded just like Wiz Jones to my ear.
Well, that is I did want to shake his hand. I hoped something would rub off, but I don't think it did really.
Ah, it was lovely.
Brilliant.
I'm glad John had his haircut now with all these newbies.
Yeah.
Come on, anybody else want to have a go at me?
Yeah.
Come on, got broad shoulders.
Well, you're getting your own back, really, aren't you? Come on.
You've got to have broad shoulders with a haircut like that, John.
Mute the buggers. Come on, Alan, mute the buggers.
No. Let them have their say, John. You've had your say. They can have theirs.
What we've got Gwyn's Welsh poem, have we, with the translation. So we've gone quiet. Have I frozen?
You can't, you're muted, Alan.
Alan, you're muted.
Bugger. I'll have to say that again, won't I?
Yeah.
No.
But for any newbies, we're going to have a little bit of poetry in the language of heaven here now, and that's not Burnley, by the way. The language of heaven is Welsh, of course, and we've got a bit of a translation going. The words will scroll, and you'll get an idea what the poem's about. It's Gwyn that's recorded it, so I will get myself muted and share it just now.
Quite a short contribution this week. It's about one of the stock subjects in the folk scene, the gypsy, the tinker, the travelling man. Gypsy Davy, of course, features in many, many songs. Many times in the club we've had songs about gypsies. This is a poem about gypsies. It's called The Flam, The Flame, and it's by the great I.D. Hooson. By a new book by I.D. Hooson, just given to me, which is great. Anyway, here we go. I.D. Hooson, A Flam. Carafan goch a milgi brych, a chaseg gloff yng nghysgod grych. A merch yn dawnsio I ysgafn gan a chlwth ei chariad yng ngolau'r tân. Cyfyd y tân ei wenfflam fri, fel braich am wddf y crochan du. A'r sipsi tal a rydd dan sel ei lw o serch ar fin o fel. Dros ail y bryn y dring y lloer, mae'r tân yn awr fel hithain oer. Angerdd bob fflam a thân bob nwyd, a drin ei dro yn lludw swyd.
What a treat.
Och, Gwen.
That was short. It's as well. I didn't try and go out for a pee in that one, didn't it?
It was quite short, wasn't it? Yeah.
That one, the line, a gypsy girl dancing to her lover's fiddle, is that another of these euphemisms? Sounds like it to me. Right, where we're going now. Ian, down in Kent.
Hi John, hi Alan, everybody.
Right, nice to see you, Ian, again.
And you. How did you get a haircut? Are you allowed to up where you are?
Oh, been having haircuts for a fortnight up here.
Oh, bloody holiday tomorrow, here, aren't we? God.
Yeah.
I haven't.
All right, well
But
done.
you haven't had your haircut since 60s.
Right.
All right, that's true as well.
When you bought that shirt.
All right, shall I start?
Yeah.
When it rains, it snows in this prairie town. There's a good 3 inches on the ground. It seems I'll be losing my peace I found. See your face all over this town, but I know you're nowhere to be found. You're far away, you're safe and sound, far from this prairie town. so leaving seems the thing to do. When I'm here I'm lost in thoughts of you. In my dreams I'm city bound. If you ask me to come to you, to leave these fields and these skies of blue, you know I'll be leaving my sacred ground, leaving this prairie town. No one's love comes close to yours. Nothing's what it was before. My eyes are heavy and my heart is sore, leaving this prairie town, leaving this prairie town. Oh, when it rains, it snows in this prairie town. We just watch it fall to the ground and wait for love to come around. So ask me in that way you do. I'll leave these fields and I'll come to you, and watch my heart as it breaks in two, leaving this prairie town, leaving this prairie town, leaving this prairie town.
Lovely, thank you, Ian. Missed you for the last couple of weeks. Right, we're moving now up to Clwb.
Good evening, John. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, have you had your hair cut or have you got alopecia?
My hair doesn't grow, John, you know that. I've not had hair for years. I wish I did. It's pretty cold out today, so trying to snow just now. So, this is one of my favourite singers. This Janice Ian's been a part of my life since I can ever remember, mainly because most of her songs are quite miserable. So when I've ever been down and out and feel bad, she slightly cheers me up. So she's my go-to when I'm a bit down. I always go to Janice Ian. So this is one of her later ones, not the latest, but this is called Getting Over You. And my guitar player's none like these lads here. Dear me. Borrowed things on guarded lines, sign the past away. This is yours and that is mine, so the papers say. How can you heal so quickly? How can you move so fast? And what will I do with my mornings? Tell me, what will I do with my nights? Tell me what you see in him that used to be in me. How is it the simple truths are hardest to believe? How can we start all over, knowing we'll just be friends? And what will I do with my mornings? Tell me, what will I do with my nights? You want answers that I can give. You want words I don't know. Ask me when I'm through getting over you. Now that this day is over, how can my life go on? And what will I do with my mornings? Tell me, what will I do with my nights? You want answers that I can't give. You want words I don't know. Ask me when I'm through getting over you. Now that this day is over, how can my life go on? And what will I do with my morning? Tell me, what will I do with my nights? You want answers that I can't give. You want words I don't know. Ask me when I'm through getting over you. Ask me when I'm through getting over you.
Yeah.
What you do happy then? Right, oh, Chaz and Jan have just turned up, the Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything tonight? Right, you're on after Brian, before Alan at the arse end. Okay?
Oh, thank you, John. The arse end. Yeah. I
Right.
know my place.
A quaint old technical term.
Someone else who went to the barbers this week was Gaffer, but it went about 6 o'clock and they were shut.
Spot on, yes.
Just
they
as
get
well they
quite
don't
dangerous
depend on
if you
him.
go in when they're open. They've got sharp objects. Would you like me to sing you a song, chaps?
Oh, yeah, I thought you'd been stuck dumb for once in your life. Is that the Great Orm behind you?
Well, that's fairly great, yes. Yes.
Right, get on with it, Gaff.
And underneath me, for that matter. Okay, nice cheery song about some people who thought I didn't have any leadership qualities. Can't think why. Anyway, I always wanted to be a general, but God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. In this chateau I'm quartered, miles and miles, miles and miles behind the lines. But here in France you can't trust the water, and so I'm forced to put up with wine. I always wanted to be a general, oh, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. Being a general can get quite lonely, not like the trenches with all your pals. But the war minister has told me that dying generals destroy morale. Always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. If you're a general, you get good pensions. Oh, so the man up in Whitehall said, but he somehow forgot to mention that you can't spend it if you were dead. I always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. I only joined up 'cause I was partial to fancy hats and to golden braid. If it got muddy, I'd be court-martialed if I should wear it while on parade. I always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general. Then they began this confounded war. Being a general, it is important, and I'm important, I do declare, because it's your job to follow orders, and 'cause it's my job to tell you where. I always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. With the exception of the odd mistress, I'm stuck back here, all on me Todd. You all play football every Christmas, while your poor general is playing God. I always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. Now I am stuck up in this garret, racked with worry, beset with doubt, hoping that they send up some claret before the burgundy runs out. Always wanting to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. Now when this bloody war is all over, and when the day dawns that we're demobbed, I shall be looking for a knighthood, and you'll be looking for a job. I always wanted to be a general, God alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war. And when you're lying on some French hillside, 'neath marble crosses in endless lines, folk will be crying beside your graveside, while dogs are pissing over mine. I always wanted to be a general, all alone knows whatever for. No sooner had they made me a general than they began this confounded war.
Yay!
Oh, what a finish. Middle, yeah, but good finish. I was with you in the choruses. Lovely.
I think Nick and Christine's lost the will to live with. He's had his guitar in his hand for about 5 minutes there. He's probably gone out of tune. Right, before you start from Whitby, can I just say next week, Good Friday, Club's anniversary. It's the 57th anniversary of the club. So, as per normal, there will be a buffet. Obviously, you've got to provide your own, but yes, there will be a buffet. And we've got homework. Mr. Chairman has set us homework. And the homework next week is simply something a little bit happy. No, sorry, Alan, but no bloody misery.
Oh, no.
That's me buggered, isn't it?
And me too.
And me.
John, does that mean you were 17 when you first started coming here?
No, I was only 16 actually. I snuck in. Right.
That's good homework for me. I've got to find a happy song now. Gaff, we got to work hard, mate.
I was there in 1969, briefly, in short trousers. I was.
Yeah. Right,
Amazing.
Okay, it's Nick and Christine. They're losing their patience by the second here.
Just going back to Mike Hawkins and his music. If somebody was born in 33, in 78 or 45. Is that a record?
Just get on with the song.
Oh, Jesus. No. No.
She left me this morning, was the 5th day of May. I will wait until September, when she comes back my way, and we'll hear such sweet music as the autumnly sway. And she'll take me out walking on Sunday, come and dance at the crossroads, come and kiss at the post. Come and tell me that you love me, that you love me the most, that you care much more for me than your boy on the coast. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, if your mother is watching, take me by the hand, and I'll bow to the ladies, shake hands with the men. So we stand by the stone wall, don't know you're my friend. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, come and stand at the crossroads, come and kiss at the post. Come and tell me that you love me, that you love me the most, that you care much more for me than your boy on the coast. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, my sister is married, there is a child on the way, and I'll not let one day pass that I don't look her way. She's a spring in her step, and a smile bright as day, and they'll both go out walking on Sunday, come and dance at the crossroads, come and kiss at the post. Come and tell me that you love me, that you love me the most, that you care much more for me than your boy on the coast. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, walk me to the orchard where the blossom blows wild, walk me to the mill stream where you trout bright the fly, to the oak in the clearing where we once danced and smiled. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, come and dance at the crossroads, come and kiss at the post. Come and tell me that you love me, that you love me the most, that you care much more for me than your boy on the coast. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday, come and dance at the crossroads, come and kiss at the post. Come and tell me that you love me, that you love me the most, that you care much more for me than your boy on the coast. Oh, take me out walking on Sunday,
You can go out walking on Sunday, but you've only to meet two other people.
Yes.
Right, what's
Got it.
Christine doing?
In 1923, the Harris and Lewis Times put an advert in their paper saying to the young men of Harris and Lewis, if you go to Canada, the Canadian government put the advert in. If you go to Canada, we will give you 1,000 acres of land, and hundreds of men from Harrison Lewis went over to Canada. Then they sent for the wives and the girlfriends, and they went on a ship called the Metagama. A lot of them went on a ship called the Metagama. And the guy who wrote this song, his wife's great aunt was one of them.
Strong farmers, lads, we're wanting. That's what the paper said. The soil is soft and fertile. It will keep our children fed. His eyes lit like a beacon. Sold at once was he. If you love me, then you'll follow, for it's Canada for me. Look at me now, I'm 1,000 miles from home, on board the Metagama, plowing through the foam. My heart it aches for Lewis, my mother and my dad. But I'll cross the rolling ocean for my handsome farmer lad. He told me I was beautiful when I was just 16. A rose cannot compare with my darling sweet Christine. I was caught hook, line and sinker by his good looks and his charm. And now I'm bound for Canada and working on the farm. Look at me now, I'm 1,000 miles from home, on board the Metagama, plowing through the foam. My heart it aches for Lewis, my mother and my dad. But I'll cross the rolling ocean for my handsome farmer lad. I'm not alone upon this voyage, there's me and hundreds more. The wild Atlantic Ocean is the opening of the door. Prosperity is waiting, there's riches to be had. But I struggled the day I met my handsome farmer dad. Look at me now, I'm 1,000 miles from home, on board the Metagama, plowing through the foam. My heart it aches for Lewis, my mother and my dad. But I'll cross the rolling ocean for my handsome farmer lad. Look at me now, I'm 1,000 miles from home, on board the Metagama, plowing through the foam.
My heart it aches for Lewis, my mother and my dad. But I'd cross the rolling ocean for my handsome farming lad.
What's your weather like over in Whitby?
Pardon?
What's
It's
your
been
weather
sunny
like?
today.
Because at the minute I've got a gale and I've got about half an inch of hail on the floor here. But we're quite high up, so... Right, okay, down to Essex boy down there, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Essex boy.
Well, hello. It's lovely to see you. Right. A couple of years
smashing.
ago. Yes, just jolly good. A couple of years ago, Roger and I were at a festival in Lincolnshire, and he perhaps won't remember. I don't know, but we went to a bar in the evening, and I went into one of the back rooms there, and there was a girl singing an unaccompanied folk song called Lonely Waters, and it was just stunning. And this is a song about that occasion. I don't remember faces, I don't recall the names, I forget about the places, they're forever and the same. But if you see her, say I miss her, and the song she sang that day. Lonely waters, it took my breath away. It snowed all day up in Boston, it snowed all night. The weatherman said it's just a frosting, it was 2 feet high. The stars came out, the breeze blew in on the Narragansett Bay. The sun went down over Salem Sound, and it took my breath away. I went down beside the water where the wild things go. The moon rose high above the water, and it shone like gold. And 7 swans arose as one, and they turned and came my way, flying low across the water. They took my breath away. They took my breath away, my dear, yes, they took my breath away, flying low across the water. They took my breath away. We went down to Angelino's and those all-night bars, with cabarets and old casinos, and whiskey by the jar. We raised a glass to lovers and friends that we lost along the way. I thought I saw her in the corner, she took my breath away. Outside of Lincoln in the wee small hours, at every table people drinking, a barroom choir, and above it all I heard her voice. 'Twas in the month of May, she was singing Lonely Water, and it took my breath away. It took my breath away, my dears, yes, it took my breath away. She was singing Lonely Water, it took my breath away.
Ashing, as always.
Right, I'm burning my guitar.
A cappella from now on, I think.
People often write songs about tragic moments in their lives. It's great to hear a song written about a positive, inspirational moment like that. Grand.
Terry, unmute yourself for a minute and tell us about Hunter Musket. Are you rappers? Are you...
Look at Roger's face.
Are you an ABBA tribute band?
No, we are a Norwegian thrash metal tribute band. That's what we do. And we take it into folk clubs and we scare the living daylight. Back in the day, Hunter Musket, we started at college, and Rog, over in my top right-hand corner, was our, and he is, still is, of course, our bass player. And we started back in the late 60s. And we had amplifiers and we had an electric guitar, and we did the folk clubs over the whole of the UK and frightened people to death walking
Ow.
stuff. and got turned away sometimes. You're not bringing that in here.
Judas!
Exactly. We had all of that, but we persisted, and we had a great time, and we had a lovely time. And the good news is we've been back together now for longer than we were when we started out back in the 60s, which is great.
Well, you're all old now, aren't you? You haven't got the same commitments.
We are very old, that's true. But when we get back, we go out in the spring and the autumn, or we were doing before all this, and we will come over to Rhyl and join you, providing that Alan gets up and joins in, as he did in that lovely video we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Can I just say that we were going to form a tribute band, but we didn't look anything like them.
The Muppets, was it?
That's true.
Don't forget, if you are up here on the Tuesday evening, you can come to the Dragon's Breath in Traithin, which is a little further inland than Rhyl. But,
Stop plugging yourself, get off.
We'll welcome you on a Tuesday.
Mute him, Alan.
We'll look forward to that. Moving swiftly on.
Right, and don't forget, if you want to listen to any of this stuff again, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow at about, well, it'll be on earlier, but you can get the link about 11 o'clock-ish. Who's writing? Andrew's writing the blog this week. So there'll be a bit of a blog, very short blog about what's gone on. It'll be on our Facebook page, or it will be on the website, and there'll be a link to the YouTube video. So you can sit through this tomorrow if you want, and the day after, and the day after. Ad infinitum.
Any newbies that want to join and connect with us, Facebook group Friends of Rhyl Folk Club, you're welcome to join us. We'll vet you on the entry point, of course, but you're welcome to join us, and you'll know what's going on in this neck of the woods in future.
I thought it was Fiends of Rhyl Folk Club.
That's only when you turn up, John.
Fair enough.
Right, Colin. We haven't heard from Colin before. Colin's new to us, and he hasn't got his guitar in his hand, so he's going to sing a cappella, I guess. Oh!
Unmute himself.
Unmute yourself, Colin. We can't hear anything.
He's got a black thing.
Yeah, I've been on this session once before, but it was quite a long time ago. I suddenly realised that I enjoyed it, and I've meaning to come back ever since. But anyway, this is a song The village about 20 miles north from where I live in Devon, there's a village called Chittlehampton, and the parish church is dedicated to a Saint Hieritha, Celtic saint. And this song was written by a friend of mine who lives in the village, and it tells about the martyrdom of Saint Hieritha. There was a maid, a Celtic maid, and where she lived was Stolford, a Celtic farm near woods and hills, in Devon 'tis on record. South of the hill, Chittlehampton, was but a stroll away, and there she'd go and meet her friend, and while away the day, and waters flow, and flowers grow, red pimpernel, where the maiden fell. One summer's day, 3 monks appeared, Keophili and Roman. From Glastonbury they had set out to tell God's love for man. Hieritha heard and understood the love of which they spoke, forsook her friend and found new faith, and joined the Christian folk. And waters flow, and flowers grow, red pimpernel, where the maiden fell. The summer rain, they never came, the fields were parched and dry. They prayed unto their pagan gods to save their food supply. When no rain came, to the monks they turned, was their God Lord of all. No answer came, or so it seemed, so sacrifice the call, and waters flow, and flowers grow, red pimpernel, where the maiden fell. Hieritha's fate was sealed that day, her stepmother the cause. She blamed the drought on Hieritha's faith, there was but one recourse. So with bare sighs they hacked her down, as she stepped out to pray. And so that fair and virtuous maid was martyred there that day. And waters flow, and flowers grow, red pimpernel, where the maiden fell. Then living water did appear from the ground whereon she fell. Clear waters flowed, and flowers grew, the scarlet pimpernel. And waters flow, and flowers grow, red pimpernel, where the maiden fell.
Traddy sounds.
Right,
none of your accordion stuff. That's a concertina, John. That I thought
All
I'd
the
get
same
it
to
first.
me. Squeeze them in, squeeze them out. I noticed while Colin was on there that Carl was either actually playing a whistle or vaping. I couldn't really see which it was. Right, thank you again, Colin.
Thank you.
Helen seems to have had her hair done.
No, just a bit different. I didn't want you to be the only one looking different.
Different, that's one way of saying, isn't it?
Yours looks much better than John's does, Helen.
It's not quite as short, thanks God, but it's nice, John. I like your hairstyle.
Oh,
and of course, Mike looks indifferent to it. I hope you complimented her when she changed the hair, Mike. Did you? Did you get that house point?
Probably not.
Oh, yeah. How can anybody live so long and learn so little?
I know.
Right. Is that? Oh, that's a guitar you've got there, is it?
I'm afraid not. No, it's the
it's the
threaded
banjo thing.
It's
A
the threaded
string banjo.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It has to be done every now and again.
It's that banjo thing. Did I hear you say it's that banjo thing?
Technical term.
Okay. Well, our song is about a mule called Sal. Now, that's the animal type mule, not a drug-carrying person. And a canal called the Erie Canal. I got a mule and the name is Sam. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a good old worker and a good old pal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. We hold some barges in our day, filled with lumber, coal and hay. We know every inch of the way from Albany to Buffalo. Low Bridge, everybody down. Low Bridge, we're coming to a town. You'll always know your neighbour and you'll always know your pal if you ever navigated on the Erie Canal. We better look around for a job, old gal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. You can bet your life I'll never part with Sal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. Get up, mule, here comes the law. We'll make Rome about 6 o'clock. One more trip and then we'll go right back home to Buffalo. Lord Bridge, everybody down. Lord Bridge, we're coming to a town. You'll always know your neighbour and you'll always know your pal if you ever navigated on the Erie Canal. Where would I be if I lost my pal? 15 miles on the Erie Canal. I'd like to see a mule as good as myself. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. A friend of mine once got a sore. Now he's got a broken jaw. She let fly with an iron toe and kicked him back to Buffalo. Lord ever navigated on the Erie Canal. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've strung that banjo affair with some bits of old rope you found, have you, from the garage? You know,
No,
everybody
it's a Stanley
keeps
knife. You have
bits
to have
of old
them
string in the.
sharpened.
That's grand. You cheer us up every week.
Ah.
So you'll have no problem with the theme for next week being happy.
No, we can be happy.
There.
We try.
Well, you see, it's almost like in reverse. We should ask you to do a sad one next week because we rarely get a sad one. No. Stick with happy for next week. John, talking of bits of old rope, John's wet string is working again and he's back with us.
I missed that, mate. Can you do it again?
There we are, your co-host again,
We'll
John.
catch up with that tomorrow on YouTube. Is it worth catching up with?
No, definitely not.
Oh, yes. Oh,
just the usual then.
Yeah. Yeah. Mediocrity.
Oh, personified.
That's the word.
Right. Chris, get that down your neck and start singing.
Okay. It's a sort of a shanty by Dave Reeder from Broseley. From the ladies' point of view, really. We sail from Dover Harbour all in the month of May, bound across the ocean, shopping in Calais, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. Before a roaring wind, we tried to hoist the sail, then came a cry of anguish, oh damn, I've broke a nail, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. Sailing round the Shetlands, the skipper, she did frown. It wasn't the navigator's fault, the map was upside down, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. The ocean waves did swell, which gave the crew a scare. It washed o'er the foredeck and ruined the boatswain's hairdo. It's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. The captain called for nets, so we hauled them o'er the side, but she said, no, I meant the hair nets, it's time for beddy boys, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. Well, the cannons were like new, they'd not been used at all. Well, the ladies couldn't fire them because they had no balls, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. Then a tragedy occurred which made the captain twitch. The crew cried, are we sinking? She says, no, I've dropped a stitch, and it's knit one pearl, one haul, me lasses, knit one pearl, one haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's knit one pearl, one haul. Then came a raging storm, the worst you e'er did see. It wasn't caused by hurricanes, the mate had PMT, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul. We made it safe to harbour, we crossed the raging main, but it was half-day closing, so we all went home again, and it's Haul, me lasses, haul, Haul, me lasses, haul, on board the good ship Nancy, it's Haul, me lasses, haul.
Never heard there's a shanty about shopping before.
And all run by women, yeah.
All the way through, I was thinking, oh, we do, my dear Annie. Oh, New York girls, can't you dance the polka?
New
But
York
that's another
girls.
one altogether, yes.
Now then,
Most interesting words I've ever heard in a shanty.
we've got John. John has disappeared on his bit of wet string again. He lives halfway up a mountain, and his connection to the network is not quite a piece of wet string, but it's very close.
Yours up about
Tenuous.
He's had run-ins with BT, which affects my pension directly, unfortunately. I spent 39 years working for the firm, and before I saw the light of day. Right, so we're going to move on. We've got David and Gwerin. For those that don't know, Gwerin is the Welsh word for a bee, and this is B next to David. So David and B, over to you.
Right. Well, noswaith dda bawb. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start in a most intellectual way here by reading to you a short piece called An Englyn, 30 syllables in very strict alliteration, by one of our greatest poets, whose real name was R.J.H. Griffiths, but he preferred to be known as Mawrth. This Englyn is about a dog, and its title is... I'll do it in Welsh first, and I'll give you a very rough version of it that I've done. Y ci. Yn ddi ymdrech, mae'n rhechan, a gollwng o'i gylla wynt aflan. Bachodd ei geraint bychan, yn sownd ym pyjamas Ann. Oh, yeah. It's going to be an anticlimax for you, Alan. I can see when I do the English one now. Okay. This is what it's the dog. Effortlessly he doth fart, releasing from his guts unclean wind. His little currants they caught soundly in Anne's pyjamas.
It loses so much in translation.
It loses so much in translation, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was lovely.
Yeah. Right.
And
Right.
we'll quickly pass over to B.
We'll pass over to B, who's got something that's not quite as intellectual as that.
Oh dear.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this poem because David told me it's not true. But then I did point out it was based on a 12th century original by Alain de Lille. So that sort of shut him up a bit.
Well done.
It's called Spring Visitor. Spring comes knocking on the door. She's wearing her favourite dress. Such colours so fresh, such frills, satins and silks, each flirt of her skirt showing the season's new hope. The steady beat of life renewed in the rhythm she is bringing, with the thrum of insects and birds' joyful singing. She twirls to show the meadows velvet green, and the swirls of the fabric flicker rainbows on our screen, as the sun and showers merge with mewling lambs and golden flowers. But why now does she falter in her dance? She gathers up her gown, her face twisted to a frown. The lovely dress is torn, and a jagged edge appears. The seam is unravelling, and the colours are blackening. What are we doing to the spring? Her silk shreds and withers, the bees stop their humming, the birds have fallen silent, the trees are diseased, and the fields darken beneath a deluge of sludge. The turbid seas are rising, but are teeming with death. What have we done to the spring?
Wonderful.
Is that another of yours? That's another of your poems, is it?
Yeah.
You do tug on the heartstrings, don't you? And you get to the point. Absolutely delightful. And talking of absolutely delightful, Carl's next. But Carl, what you got to do? Oh, he's muted. Are you all right, Carl? You're muted.
Yeah, I thought it was Brian next, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we are. No, we've juggled. No, I obeyed my leader before he cleared off.
Yeah, that's
with
fine.
Internet problems. So, sorry if it's a shock to you. It might make you forego some of those unattainable high notes that you insist on singing. Anyway, over to Carl. Lovely to see you again, Carl.
Thanks, Alan. Evening, everyone. This, I think they call this a spiritual song, Willie Nelson. And I thought about you, Lord. Now, John did see me with a whistle earlier because the song's very, very short. So what the band do, they do a big instrumental, which I can't do. So I was trying it on my whistle. It's very difficult to drop a whistle and pick up a guitar and sort of keep your place. So what I've done is a bit of an experiment, because if you've ever tried to learn the words to a song, you know that's always more difficult than actually learning the tune. So most people can know the tune, but they struggle with the words, and it's certainly the case with me. So I thought to test the theory, and I'm actually going to sing the second verse twice and see if anybody notices.
It's terrible when you have to drop your whistle, though.
Yeah, here it is. And then you hit the wrong note because you dropped your note. Anyway. I thought about trees and how much I'd like to climb one. I thought about friends and how rare it is to find one. Thought about you, the most gentle, sweet and kind one. Thought about you, Lord. Thought about you. Thought about life and the way that things are going. Thought about love and the pain there is in growing. Thought about you, the one who is all-knowing. Thought about you, Lord. Thought about you. I thought about you and the songs that I keep singing. Thought about you and the joy that they keep bringing. Thought about life and a love that has no ending. Thought about you, Lord. Thought about you. Thought about life and the way that things are going. Thought about love and the pain there is in growing. Thought about you, the one who is all-knowing. Thought about you, Lord. Thought about you. I thought about you and the songs that I keep singing. Thought about you and the joy that they keep bringing. Thought about life and a love that has no ending. I thought about you, Lord. Thought about you. I thought about you, Lord. I thought about you. Thank you.
I think that's the lowest note we've ever heard you sing, Carl. That one of the I thought about you down in your boots.
Did you hear me straining?
Well, there's lots of bass singers would love to sing top tenor, that's for sure. Yeah.
And vice versa, isn't it, Alan?
Well, it does work that way a little bit, yeah.
He's plugged his bit of string in. He's back.
I'm back. I'll be back.
He's back.
I don't know how long I'll be back for. It's pissing me off this tonight. Right. I've no idea where we are.
No, we just had Carl, John. We just had Carl. We're moving on to Brian. So
okay, Brian then,
Okay.
down in Eastbourne.
Yep.
Do you want to know how the rugby's getting on?
No, don't say. I'm watching it later. Just don't say.
No, taping it.
Oh, it'll cost you.
I don't care.
Shut up, John.
Is Leslie celebrating? Sorry. No. Right.
We'll send someone round to cut your hair for you, John, if that's all right.
I know where you live.
Which John are you talking about?
The one that's going to spill the beans on the rugby.
Shoot him.
Right, Brian. When all the formalities are over, off you go, Brian.
Okay, this is a comedy song by John Prine called That's the Way the World Goes Round. I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kind of confused. Got muscles in his head, ain't never been used. Who thinks he owns half of this town? That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day and the next you're down. It's half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose. Then he takes her out to dinner, buys her new clothes. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. I was sitting in the bathtub counting my toes. When the radiator broke, water all froze. I got stuck in the ice without my clothes, naked as the eye of a clown. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak, when the sun came through the window and the ice all broke. I stood up and laughed, thought it was a joke. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. I know a guy that's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kind of confused. Got muscles in his head, ain't never been used. Who thinks he owns half this town? That's the way the world goes round. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round. That's the way the world goes round.
Oh, you see. Oh, we never have problems with Brian. He always telegraphs the end of the song. Telegraphs. When we have gaps and we think, is that the end yet? Shall we come in and clap? Oh! But excellent, Brian. Excellent. And a nice finish there too. The way the world goes round. And we move on to look at these two little cherubic faces here.
You've taken over, haven't you?
No. Well, you're back, are you? You're back. Right, carry on, John.
Yeah, I'm still sort of moving. It's a good game. You know, if it goes off again, I'm not coming back. I'm just watching it. Right, we've got the Boy Scouts.
We've lost connection tonight as well at times, so we might just disappear, but hopefully not.
Then again, we might just sort of freeze. No.
Okay. We've got a poem and a song tonight, and the poem has kind of come about because this week, as an NHS employee, we've all had a card thanking us for our efforts over the past year.
I bet that was wonderful. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So,
did they accept it as a voucher at Tesco?
No, unfortunately not. Just a nice little card. But
oh, isn't that lovely? Why don't they give you a pay rise? That's
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But one of my staff has also written a poem recently called "Thank You," the same as it says on the card. And it's with this being the sort of 1 year anniversary week to us going into lockdown. I just wanted to share her words with you, really. They're her words, not mine, but I think they're worth sharing just at this particular time of year. She leaned back in the chair and released the biggest sigh. And as she turned her head, an angry tear fell from her eye. Her heart was oh so heavy from the pain that she'd seen, but she dared not show her feelings from behind the safety screen.
How's Ian go?
Her hands were dry and rough, with some fingers red and cracked, so very tight and painful from the moisture that they lacked. All that careful cleansing had left its angry mark. The reason for such cleanliness was oh so grave and stark. Every day was different, and yet every day the same. People suffering, dying. The only difference was their name. She was tired beyond measure, and her heart was truly breaking. This was the very worst. Of that there was no mistaking. How could anyone explain just what had come to be? You only had to look at her. The signs were so clear to see. That year she went to hell and back, a wealth of hurt and strife. Countless months of misery and pain had scarred her life. She thought about the milestone of 100,000 lives. It wounded her as if they'd been 100,000 knives. 100,000 humans. She thought about that number. Too many people had no choice in their eternal slumber. She thought about the families that were changed forevermore, the victims of a virus that they'd never known before. She wondered how there could be doubt. They didn't have a clue. 100,000 people dared to testify it's true. There came a sudden knock which produced her practised smile. The clerk had brought some letters in some dishevelled pile. Although her heart was heavy, she opened up the first. What greeted her was magical. Her heart was fit to burst. Suddenly, the burden of the world had somehow lifted. The words inside and sentiment had been so warmly gifted. Kindness and support will help us all to battle through. It was a card from loved ones which simply said, "Thank you." Diolch.
Oh, that's spot on.
Yeah.
We'll have a slight change of tone now, though.
Yes,
from that one.
complete contrast. We were talking last night with some friends about the fact that a sea shanty was top of the hit parade. Whether it's still there, I'm not sure, but it was last week. So it's the Wellerman, which is actually a well-known whaling song, and refers to the Wellerman, who were the Wellerman brothers who emigrated to New Zealand, and describes how they would bring the provisions of tea and rum and sugar.
And we just actually prompted by one of our previous, or not just prompted, but in common with one of our previous singers tonight, we've added a few extra verses that perhaps links to more modern days. So we start off with a sort of more traditional version, and then we'll sort of merge into something that's a little bit more modern.
There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy of Tea. The wind blew up her bow, dipped down, oh blow, my bully boys blow.
Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
She'd not been 2 weeks from shore, went down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow.
Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da.
Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. Hands to the side, harpooned and fought her when she dived down low.
Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
No line was cut, no whale was freed. The captain's mind was not of greed, and he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow.
Ha! Soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Da 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 da.
For 40 days or even more, the line went slack, then tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale did go.
Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
As far I've heard, the fight's still on, the line's not cut and the whale's not gone. The wellerman makes his regular call to the captain, crew and all.
Ha! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. There was a mum who woke at dawn, 'cause on her head there jumped her spawn. She dragged herself downstairs and hunted all day for coffee. If you see a tired mum come, then give her biscuits, tea and rum. Tired mums live in sweatpants, their mum buns falling down. She made 5 breakfasts, none for her, while a toddler meltdown did occur. She ate the dregs of Cheerios and slammed down more coffee. If you see a tired mum come, then give her biscuits, tea and rum. Tired mums live in sweatpants, their mum buns falling down. Throughout the day she does homeschool and clean up poo and food and drool. She had to work from home, so she might need some wine. If you see a tired mum come, then give her biscuits, tea and rum. Tired mums live in sweatpants, their mum buns falling down. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Ha!
Ha!
Ha! Oh, what energy!
It sounds like the Whaler Man, doesn't it? But it's the Weller Man. As in Paul Weller.
As in Paul, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Paul Weller.
I think he was in Hunter Musket for a time, I think.
He was the one with the haircut. Fringe cut.
He's a short ass.
Yeah. Even shorter than Terry's fringe. Qualitag, fair play.
Right, okay, we're nearly at the end of the first half, aren't we?
Well, we are, yeah. Yeah, it's been a crowded and varied first half. It's been lovely. And we've got newbies. Talented newbies, isn't that good?
Right, well, before... hang on a minute, I'll
twiddling. I'll
tell you my plan. I have a cunning plan.
Good.
Because we normally finish at 10:30. That would you finish 10:30. So, second half... we will have sort of all the newer people. If we can have one from Brian and Sue, one from Roger, one from Nick and Christine, one from Terry, one from Colin, one from Chris, and if there's a few minutes left, we'll have a couple of people from the club.
Poor old buggers getting left out. We are. Poor old.
Well, I can't put everybody.
No, I know that.
You can cut me off the list. I just listened. I've enjoyed it tonight. So.
Well, I wasn't putting you on, Alan.
Good.
You could always introduce the 2-verse rule, yeah.
It's been a lovely night so far. Shame to spoil it, but
right
now I'm here to prove, John, that I've got more than one happy song. I've got one I'm keeping for next week, and I've got another happy song here, which is all about the summer, and it's also written by a Welshman, Hugh Williams. Hugh Williams, oh yeah, Hugh Williams, South Walian, South Walian, from Cardiff, I think. It's called The Summer Before the War, and I think Fairport Convention recorded it. Very poorly, if I may say. Very poorly. I can say it here.
Al Stewart's song.
It's Summer Before the War, that's the one. Here we go. All on a Saturday, bright as a bell, early and just for the ride, we took a trip cycling down to the sea, you and your lady and I. Oh, the summer, oh what a sun, bright in the blue sky it clung. One day at Whitsun, the sea and the shore, the summer before the war. Warm summer places where you could taste the country air, racing as shadows we'd fly, down through the narrow lanes, chasing the slow trains, last of an age going by. We had a good time, we had some fun. There was time then, we all were young. One day at Whitsun, the sea and the shore, the summer before the war. Young hearts, young souls, young minds to unfold, yet knowing the untold somehow. One day at Whitsun, the sea and the shore, the summer before the war. We found a small cove by the sand and the water, the salt air brushing our skin. Your hand in her hand in mine, watching the tide roll on in. Oh, what a moment, oh, what a day. We held it, it couldn't slip away. One day at Whitsun, the sea and the shore, the summer before the war. Young hearts, young souls, young minds to unfold, yet knowing the untold somehow. One day at Whitsun, the sea and the shore, the summer before the war. To spoil that one, lovely song.
What was with the chucking the glasses away? Is that vanity?
Oh, no, well, no, I don't need them. I wasn't and I prefer not to see your face in fine focus, John.
You're just jealous of the haircut, aren't you?
That's right. Well, when I've got rid of this, I'll send. No, I've suggested quite strongly. I'll put it in an envelope and send it to Terry. Some of this when I take it off with a bit of super glue. Yeah.
We're so jealous of your haircut, John. Oh, sorry.
I'll tell you what, I've had a bloody bad day today.
Oh, bad hair day, was it?
No, shut up.
Oh.
I had a warning light come up on the
He's
shot.
just after sympathy, really, isn't he? You know.
He's lost all
big
his
buggers,
strength.
Alan.
What strength he had has gone
Engine
down the
management
pan.
warning light come up. So I thought, well, it's under warranty. Take it in, not a problem. It was a problem. The reason this light was on was because rodents had chewed through half my wiring. So I was £274 out of pocket.
Oh, jeez. That's not a good idea.
Oh, bloody! So I've got poison. I've got traps. I don't care if it's humane or not. I want to kill them.
Oh, she's still there, John. Despite all that, Leslie's still with you.
Right. Okay. We're into second half now. Brian and Sue.
All right.
Oh, thank you. And thanks very much for making us so welcome. It's been a great night.
Oh, what a lovely night.
Lovely
Really
bunch
and
of
truly.
people.
Absolutely.
We've moved from Perthshire for Dougie down to the south coast. This is a show of hands song called You'll Get By, which last March he dedicated to the NHS. Well, you build a life together, shattered to the core. And once again you're gathering up the pieces. Shippers come untethered, drifting free once more, and the ever-raging storm never ceases. Summon up your strength and lean upon the oar, and I'll send you a dove, so strike out for the shore. You'll get by, you always do. For the wind that shakes the barley never touches you. Come on, sister, brother, don't you cry. You don't know it now, but you'll get by. Your best is not accepted, your cries for help unheard, while all around unkindness gets rewarded. All the hopes and plans rejected, you're forced to join the herd, while cynical indifference is applauded. You have walked this road before, you can walk it once again. Why should it break you now? 'Cause it didn't break you then. You'll get by, you always do. For the wind that shakes the barley never touches you. Come on, sister, brother, don't you cry. You don't know it now, but you'll get by. You are bruised but unbroken, you are bloodied but unbound, unsteady on your feet but still standing. It's not the fame or the fortune, it's not the rapture of the crown. You're fighting for respect and understanding. So castle walls are falling, thieves are at the gate. They will take away our rights and our choices. False prophets are calling, singing out hymns of hate, to silence the land with siren voices. Ah, the bully and the braggart, let's drag them from the thrones. Don't need those savage songs, 'cause we're loud enough alone. You'll get by, you always do. For the wind that shakes the barley never touches you. Come on, sister, brother, don't you cry. You don't know it now, you don't know it now. You don't know it now, but you'll get by. You don't know it now, you'll get by.
Oh, I was melting into my chair there. Yeah.
Whose song was that? Whose song was
It's
that?
Pay attention.
Oh, I remember now. It's just a couple of minutes ago, so it's my short-term memory.
Yeah, it's show of
Thank you
hands.
very much. You did
Steve
mention
Knightley.
it. Well done, well done.
Ah, thank you.
Right, absolutely lovely. Okay, Roger and out.
Well, it's very kind of you. Thank you. Okay. That was lovely, I have to say, as you say. I'll have a go at Lord Franklin. This is I come from Lincolnshire originally, and this is about a bloke from Spilsby in the Lincolnshire Wolds who came to grief trying to find the Northwest Passage. You probably know the song. It's very well sung, probably because it's such a nice song. Anyway, excuse me. He was homeward bound one night on the deep, dreaming in my hammock I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream, thought it true, concerning of Franklin and his gallant crew. With 100 seamen he sailed away to the frozen ocean in the month of May, to seek the passage around the pole, where we poor sailors do sometimes go. Through cruel hardships his men did go. His ship on mountains of ice was drove, where the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only one who ever came through. Baffin Bay, where the whale fishes blow, the fate of Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. Lord Franklin with his sailors do dwell. And now my burden, it gives me pain, for the love of Franklin I would cross the main. £10,000 would I freely give to no on earth but my Franklin do live.
Lovely, Roger.
Lovely, well done.
Nope. You shouldn't have eaten the tinned food. That was his downfall.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
can,
yeah,
I can tell you not a proper bass
thing.
player. Sorry.
No, sorry, I'm just saying I typed the wrong thing. I typed that France had beaten Scotland, but Mike has pointed out that it wasn't the final score, and that Scotland has won.
And I didn't want to know that because I'm
I
going to
didn't
watch
want-
it after the...
And I didn't want to know that.
Oh, Alan, I'm sorry.
Nanny, spoiler done.
Oh,
Roger,
dear, sorry,
Roger, the
Alan.
point about Roger is he's not a proper bass player because he can play more than one string at the same time. I can tell that from his guitar playing.
Always the right ones.
Lovely.
Right, it's Nick.
Good news all round.
Christine.
Fuck's sake. Zip, mute.
Right.
We ready?
Yeah, off you go.
This song from a girl called Linda Kelly from Hull. She and her partner, he's a fisherman, and she writing a lot of songs from his perspective.
This is called Northern Tide.
Out to sea on a northern tide, on a northern tide I'm bound away to the fishing grounds and the ocean wide, and more beside to earn my pay. But I'll not let the ocean come between us. There's part of me that never leaves the shore. And though I haven't said the words my own one, I couldn't love you more. Far away to my second home, in the salt and foam of a foreign sea, lashed by the winds of a raging gale, sleet and hail are home to me. You ask me, is it lonely on the ocean? You ask me if I miss you, but you know I miss you, but the sea will never leave me, and I can't let her go. Heave to lads and hard nets, and fill the decks with a ton of cod, barrels full of liver oil, fisherman's foil, pays the rent, thank God. Our holds are full and we are heading homeward, to the Humber's muddy waters we'll return. We'll leave the icy ocean far behind us, and pleasure in the money we have earned. Sailing home on an evening tide, on an evening tide we're getting near, from the fishing grounds and the ocean wide, and more beside to you, my dear.
Thank you very much, the pair of you. And I think Terry's going to be out of breath. He just nipped off for a quick fag.
That's right. Is it me?
Yes.
Oh, right, sorry. Okay. Yes, I'm sorry I had to shoot off, but here we are. Right, a quick song. I grew up in listening to Lonnie Donegan's skiffle. That's what got me into playing these things. And for years I thought that Lonnie Donegan wrote all those songs. It was only later someone pointed out that a lot of his stuff was written by Woody Guthrie, who I'd never heard of. And then I kind of got confused, and I thought Lonnie Donegan was Woody Guthrie. And I went to a folk club much later and said, I'm going to do a Woody Guthrie song. And it's called My Old Man's a Dustman. And that lost me all kind of credibility. It didn't really work out. But I've since got to know who Woody Guthrie is, and this is a song kind of about, well, not so much about him, but it sums up what he was all about. I wandered this world and I've seen a lot of men. They rob you with a gun or a ballpoint pen. They say I'll pay you next week, but they never say when. Roll on, roll on, roll on. You don't get dirty, then you don't get paid. You don't get paid but $1 a day. Then the tax, the revenue, take it all away. Roll on, roll on, roll on. You take it away, you just keep rolling on. I dig your fields and I water your vines, put food on your table and a sparkling wine. But I wind up standing at the back of the line. Roll on, roll on, roll on. And I worked your mines and I gathered your corn, copper and iron up in Baltimore. I've been working for you since the day I was born. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Since the day I was born, I just keep rolling on. And this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. Your land picking peaches and sloes. It's a mighty hard roll that my poor hand hoed, and I slept all night in the trucks that I drove. Roll on, roll on, roll on. And now I worry all the time like I never did before. I never had a key to my own back door, no home in this world anymore. Roll on, roll on, roll on. I ain't got no home, I just keep rolling on. But you don't miss the water till the well runs dry. You don't miss your friends till the day they die. They swear it's the truth, but you know it's a lie. Roll on, roll on, roll on. You know it's a lie, you just keep rolling on. This land is your land, this land is my land. From Caledonia to the Holy Island, from the Ashdown Forest to the inshore waters, this land is made for you and me.
How many strings you got on that guitar? Is it just 6 strings? It sounds like more.
Oh no, it's not.
6 strings, but it's got 24 fingers.
Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Those long fingers.
John's spring's broken again.
Yeah, John's disappeared on us, so hell's bells, the weight of responsibility and a glass of brandy and stuff falls on my shoulders. So I'm going to move on to Colin, if you're able, Colin.
Yeah.
As a newbie to the club, I think that was John's plan, was to put our newbies on. Not that that's any detriment to our regulars, of course, who will gang up on the newbies and beat the poo out of them, obviously. So we're going to move on to Colin, and away you go, Colin. Explain yourself, man.
Okay, this is a parody of a Cyril Tawney song, and it's dedicated for all people that live in the villages and can't get home after 6 by public transport. I'd have gone to Sammy's bar, but the last bus was leaving. I didn't have a car, can't afford the price of. For the girl I love works there, but the last bus was leaving. She's long and golden hair and blue eyes of. I could see her every day, but the last bus is leaving. I live 20 miles away, don't have a choice of. When you're living in the sticks and the last bus is leaving, you can't get home after 6, passion's on ice, oh. With public transport twice a week and the last bus is leaving, without a paddle up a creek with a loser guys, oh. So I bought myself a bike, 'cause the last bus was leaving. She told me to take a hike, that wasn't nice, oh. She told me what I could do when the last bus was leaving, with me bicycle made for two, gave me a surprise, oh. She said her boyfriend, he'd a drive the last bus that was leaving my village shop at 5, and he's home by 6, oh. So I'll forget about Sammy's bar, 'cause the last bus is leaving. Drown my sorrows in a jar with the country boys, oh. For distant love is bound to fail if the last bus is leaving, and you can't get home by rail. That's my advice, oh.
He's back. He's back.
Oh,
you're missing all the best bits, John. Thank you, Colin.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I know I'll watch it on YouTube tomorrow. I've lost my thread now.
Now, where I got an idea that we've got Helen and Mike and Chris, and I did look at the time, John, and I took an executive decision in your absence, as only I can, that even though Helen and Mike are newbies, regulars, with their regulars, but they're newbie regulars, aren't they? They're not quite, they haven't got their badge yet. Have you got a badge, Mike, that says been in Rhyl Folk Club since Amser Maith and all, as we would say? a long time ago. Anyway, so I was going to say, John, if you're happy, we could fit Helen and Mike in and Chris.
Well, I'll be quite honest, I wouldn't have put them in.
You wouldn't.
But you know, if you've said they can, I suppose we're stuck with it, really, aren't we?
They've been well. The thing is, they could
Mike's
be
buggered off now.
they could be seen as preparing us for a happy week next week, you see, because they've been on the happy beans again, and look at their little faces.
Oh.
Look at their little faces. How could you refuse them, John?
Quite easily.
Oh,
absolutely no problem.
Alan, the check.
Because he's got a bloody banjo, that's why.
Have you still got that banjo device? Oh, it's a proper instrument, right? I say this as a banjo player. However, over to you, Mike and Helen. Lovely.
That's very kind. The check will be in the post to you, Alan. We will do a happy one, even though it's next week. This is it is happy, yes, because it's about a happy relationship. How about that? There's a tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind. I'm going to start that again because I forgot to put the capo on. I'm very sorry.
No, they've had their chance, John. The big hook.
I told you it was a mistake. You wouldn't listen to me, would you? You thought you knew better.
There's a tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind, and the reason it's still standing, it was strong enough to bend. For years we've stayed together as lovers and as friends. What we have will last forever if we're strong enough to bend. When you say something that you can't take back, a big wind blows and you hear a crack. When you say, hey, well, I might be wrong, you can sway with the wind till the storm is gone.
Sway with the wind till the storm is gone.
Like a tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind. Our love will last forever if we're strong enough to bend. When you start thinking that you know it all, a big wind blows and a branch will fall. When you say, hey, this job takes two, we can sway with the wind till the skies turn blue.
Sway with the wind till the skies turn blue.
Like the tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind. Our love will last forever if we're strong enough to bend. Like the tree out in the backyard that never has been broken by the wind. Our love will last forever if we're strong enough to bend. Our love will last forever if we're strong enough to bend. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, see, I'd have put Mike Hawkins on for another, but there we are.
Oh, and a great result by the look of it.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
No.
You see, I wasn't going to say anything, but
Anyway,
there we go.
Lot of happy Welshmen. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, just
Idiot opened his gob, didn't he?
put it like that. We also support the Welsh team, so.
Well, jolly good too. Ingratiate, that's a new word. What's the Welsh for ingratiate, T. Gwyn? David, do you know? Ingratiate.
Well,
oh.
Yeah, we are proper Davises.
True in brown.
Right, come on, get off. Miss.
Right. Okay, I'm going to do a song called Muesli. They're turning all our countryside to motorways and towns. Whatever are these faceless people thinking? Our landscape's all been ruined, it'll never come again. It's enough to make a sober man start drinking. In days long gone, we're told, we ate our dinner cold. Fruits and nuts and berries were our staple. Bountiful the food and the hours, they were good, when we kept our bellies filled at nature's table. But then some clever fool invented the first tool, though he wasn't quite sure what the tool would do. And then some blooming Burke, well, he invented work, and our trouble started then, I'm telling you. They're turning all our countryside to motorways and towns. Whatever are these faceless people thinking? Our landscape's all been ruined, it'll never come again. It's enough to make a sober man start drinking. Then another clever fool, whose name was Jethro Tull, found a way to make us all work harder. When he mechanised the plough, I've no idea how, but all he did was fill the rich man's larder. Then along came Jimmy Watt, who made his steam so hot, and cried, my engine is a labour-saving glory. Well, its virtues, I've been told, will ask the men who dig the coal. Then you'll hear quite a different story. They're turning all our countryside to motorways and towns. Whatever are these faceless people thinking? Our landscape's all been ruined, it'll never come again. It's enough to make a sober man start drinking. Now we've civil engineers, accountants brew our beer. No wonder we've no reason to feel jolly. Have we come all this way, working harder day by day, just to satisfy some clever bugger's folly? And the advertising men tell us time and time again, buy our products and they'll make you all feel merry. The telly tells us what to do and says muesli's good for you. But hang on, muesli's just fruits and nuts and berries. They're turning all our countryside to motorways and towns. Whatever are these faceless people thinking? Our landscape's all been ruined, it'll never come again. It's enough to make a sober man start drinking.
Yay!
There's not many sober men in lockdown, is there?
Well, no. I've been working on it.
We are towards the end of the night. Being as it's meant to be Rhyl Folk Club, Alan can finish off, but can we squeeze one in from Mr. Mike Hawkins?
Absolutely. Well, look at the time, John.
Perfect.
As long as he keeps it clean. Do you do requests, Mike?
Sometimes.
My love is in America. My love is in America. I'll write it on the back of a clean £20 note for you.
Oh yeah.
No. Do what you choose.
What I was going to do was the Aragon Mill.
That's even better.
That's very nice. Very nice. We can all join in that.
Yeah.
Are you saving your happy ones for next week, Mike?
I'm trying to find one. I've got many happy ones. There's usually people dying or something in them. Isn't there?
What about Streets of Forbes next week? That's a lot of laughs, isn't it?
Oh yeah. There's only a couple of people get killed in that. Isn't
Right, get on with it.
Okay, Aragon Mill. It's about the closure of the mills and its effect on a family who'd never known anything else. So at the east end of town, at the foot of the hill, there's a chimney so tall called Aragon Mill. There's no smoke there now coming out of its stack, for the mill has closed down, it's never coming back. And the only sound you hear is the sound of the wind as it blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. There's no children play in those dark, narrow streets since the mill has closed down. It's so quiet I can't sleep. The mill has closed down, it's the only life I know. Tell me, what will I do? Tell me, where will I go? And the only sound you'll hear is the sound of the wind as it blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. I'm too old to work and I'm too young to die. What will we do, my family and I? There's no use anymore for a cotton mill, it seems, but the sound of the loom still haunts my dreams. And the only sound you'll hear is the sound of the wind as it blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. At the east end of town, at the foot of the hill, there's a chimney so tall called Aragon Mill. There's no smoke there now coming out of its stack, for the mill has closed down, it's never coming back. And the only sound you'll hear is the sound of the wind as it blows through the town. Weave and spin, weave and spin. As it blows through the town, weave and spin, weave and spin.
Lovely, well done.
I suppose it was okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lovely thing to include.
Right, okay, I'm sorry I've been coming and going all night, but blame BT. And I'm sorry for everyone who didn't get a go in the second half. But, okay.
Well, they're paying my pension, John. That's
well,
the thing.
they know I'm a complete bastard, so
yeah.
They're not surprised, really, are they? Okay, Alan's just going to round the night off with something hopefully jolly to send you away with.
I've got a happy song, John. I've got a happy song.
Oh.
Dyma gan I bencampwyr y chwe glad. Dwi'n deud yn Gymraeg. Yeah.
I mean, no, what is
spoilers? Yeah.
Get on with it.
Canlyniad yn amlwg rwan, da ni'n pencampwyr. Right.
Oh,
here we go with a song for the Welsh rugby team. Here we go. Ar lan y môr, mae rosys cochion, Alan y môr, mae lilies gwynion. Alan y môr, mae carreg unne a cysgu. Right. Alan y môr, mae carreg wastad, lle bym yn siarad gair am cariad. O amgylchon fe dify lili ac am esbrygen o rosemary. Alan y môr, mae rosys cochion. Alan y môr, mae lilies gwynion. Alan y môr, mae cariad unne yn cysgu nos a chodi bore. Alan y môr, mae cerrig gleision. Alan y môr, mae blodau meibion. Alan y môr, mae pob rinweddau. Alan y môr, mae cariad uned. Alan y môr, i'r cochion. Alan y môr, mae lilies gwynion. Alan y môr, mae cariad unne yn cysgu nos a chodi bore. Mor hardd yw'r hael sy'n codi'r bore. Mor hardd yw endys am ei liwiau. Mor hardd yw natur y Mehefin. Ond harddach bydd yw Wener felyn. Alan y môr, mae rosys cochion. Alan y môr, mae lilies gwynion. Alan y môr, mae cariad unne yn cysgu nos a chodi bore. Alan y môr.
Oh, that again.
Alan y môr, mae lilies gwynion. Alan y môr, mae cariad uned yn cysgu nos a chodi bore. Yn cysgu nos a chodi'r dyna ni. Wel, Cymru am byd.
I am.
I think it needed another key change there.
He'd forgotten the capo on his throat then.
Or two.
This Evelyn, I noticed Evelyn has buggered off.
Was it called Alan y Môr by any chance?
Alan y Môr, it's called
Alan y Môr.
On the seaside, everything happens on the seaside. Nothing.
He means everything.
Right, okay. Elvis has left the building.
Bye, Elvis.
We're winding up for another night.
Oh, no,
So
you.
next week, don't forget it's the club's anniversary, and a buffet will be provided by yourselves. It'll be
happy songs.
Because no miserable songs, please, next week.
Will there be a raffle, John?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Another loaf of bread.
Yeah, I think we might manage a raffle.
There'll be a
it might not
virtual
be as-
raffle with virtual prizes. I
It
would
might not be as good as the Christmas raffle.
Oh, that was fantastic.
I'm missing my chocolate
Free
orange.
entry for next week.
David back.
Right, I'll bake a special loaf.
What's stopping you, sweetie?
Yeah, we're all missing our chocolate oranges. Bless him.
Yeah.
Do you think you're just not tired enough?
Good night, Carl.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Olivia.
Good night,
Good night, Zebedee.
Good night. Good night.
Stop the